This is a springtime one. It's a March poem, but it's not that far away from March. I think you can read it. March is coming. And I wrote this one during one of the good days when I worked in public relations, and I had to go down the river to pick up some glass art from the glass artist who incidentally made one glass art, which is immortalized in another poem. But coming back on the radio, the snow was melting, the river had thawed, and it was just flowing, and they were playing Dvorak's New World Symphony, and I thought, I'm sure that it's going to take at least twice as long going down to Brian's studio as it normally would, and I just pulled off and watched the river flow, and all the big ice floes and chunks were rushing on. And so I just sat there and listened to the New World Symphony and watched the river, and later wrote a poem about it. It's called In the Seventh Season. I am in a new season, a new time, a new world. A new light shines on the west side of my wings. I have rapids bubbling in my veins. I am the river. I am breaking around the bend. I am wearing down old rocks, making moss on their flanks, pounding through stone arches. I am carrying away the winter. I am bearing the spring. I have a promise. I have a time. I grow more full at each bend. As each stream pours into me, my foam builds, my thunder rises. I break trees, boats, dams. I carry with me fish, green things, row, life. I cannot stop. I will not stop. I tumble, I roar, I rampage. It is never time. It is always time. I will never arrive. I will always be there. The light grows brighter, closer. It is the seventh season. It is 7 days into March. Okay, I'll just read a couple more then from my book here and wrap it up. Back to the civil engineering. This one's called And Another Thing, or Why I'm Not Married to a Civil Engineer Anymore. Part 326. The way I cut the grass annoyed you, no end. Not in regular rows, like sane people, smart people, bright people, but like some kooky artist or writer, one of those nutty types, some crazy person. Unplanned, irregular rows, lacking focus or sense. What bothered you most was that I got all the edges, finished before you, and had fun doing it. Poor X. That's a good thing he's enjoyed it. But he'd never go to a poetry reading.
You mean you went on to all them parties yourself?
Well, that was yeah, long after he'd gone to Georgia. Maybe I will read the one about the glass artist, yeah. It was the same glass artist from whose studio I was returning when I wrote the one about the river. Did actually give me a gift. And I wrote this poem that's called Almost Perfect Match. The glass artist gave her a gift, a glass penis. Please, she said, make a glass mate for this glass penis. Let them live together in a glass house, love together in a glass bed. Take the burden from the rest of us. The glass penis was very easy, said the glass artist. Fun to make, playing with sand and fire. I'm sorry, said he, but I cannot make the female version. I have tried. They are too difficult to make, too complex. They break too easily in the fire. Now, I will wrap up with one here about my home on the farm back in the heartland. Most of my life in the heartland, I guess, was spent in the cities, but for a couple of years while I worked on the newspaper, we lived in an old farmhouse in greater St. Paris, Ohio. Quite a metropolis. Spent the winter in the blizzard there, had many adventures. And I didn't write about it until after. I tried to write about it while I lived there, but it didn't seem to ring true until after I'd moved away. I'd been gone for a couple of years, and then I wrote a poem about it. It's called The House on Zimmerman Road. Old Doc Barger had shot himself in the head right outside the kitchen door where we kept the garbage cans. He'd been poorly, folks said. By the back corner of the house, a marble pentagon marked the grave of a 4-month-old daughter, 1836. The tombstone in the corn crib, we never could explain. Spooks, Sam told us, ran all over the front hill at night while we slept, and a wild cat lived in a tree behind the summer kitchen. Mice wintered under the sink, onions dried in the dark cellar, and late in January, drinking water froze in our glasses. Each evening at sunset, 14 deer came quietly to graze in pink snow. And every Sunday, laughter and Bach bounced about the thick walls and trailed up the heavy staircases. In those years, we count among the good ones.